Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the BloomCast. It is episode number 46, March 23rd, the year of Satoshi 2021. My name is Luis. I'm one of the founders of Bloom Solutions. The BloomCast is a Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. show. We do this every week. We talk about crypto, we talk about blockchain gaming, we talk about Axies, we talk about NFTs, we talk about all of the interesting things that are happening in the crypto Philippines community. And again, we do this every week. We welcome all of the people in the chat right now. I see there's nearly 100 people already watching. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. So we have a couple of interesting new changes to the show, no? So we're gonna do change in format again. We're going to do. I think that the Axie Infinity episode last week was pretty popular. So I think that one of the things we want to do is we want to be able to just kind of talk a little bit more in depth about Axie Infinity, how to get started with Axie Infinity, how to build your own team. And we've gotten some of the experts in the Pinoy community to help us get through this and figure out what the best strategy is for people who are starting. Now, for anyone in the chat who has never watched a BloomCast episode before, I'll just set some ground rules first. So the first rule is that firstly, everyone needs to be polite. No? So just be polite and be nice to everyone, and don't say anything that's too mean. The other thing is also that we will give out a raffle. We always give out a raffle every week, and it's always in the form of either cryptocurrency, or it's going to be in the form of vouchers for the BloomX.app. So yun yung those are the only two things you have to remember. Everyone who is currently in the chat right now, they are already automatically eligible for the raffle unless you've won more than twice. So that's it. That's the only other rule that you have to remember. Okay, so again, my name is Luis. I'm one of the founders of Bloom Solutions. I'm joined this week by the cast from last week, actually. So we're going to be able to talk about all the stuff that happened last week also. So let me introduce my first guest, Aldrin Rabino, Crypto Fortune. Welcome again. Bitcoin did badly, so I guess that means his prediction was correct last week. Joining us for the second episode, Crypto Shanks, also known as Red-Haired Shanks by the Axie Infinity community. Thank you for joining us again. And finally, KooKoo Crypto. I thought he wasn't gonna make it because he wasn't replying to my messages. Buzzer beater always. Guys, I just realized na wala pa lang, actually maybe Aldrin pala is the exception. Walang nasa Manila sa atin ngayon, no?
Yeah.
So, wait, Aldrin, where are you? Are you in Manila?
Yeah, Taguig.
Taguig. Okay. All right. Meron palang, may isa pala. Okay, so it's pretty funny because, so I'm in La Union, Aldrin is in Taguig, KooKoo is in Cebu, and then Shanks is in Davao. So actually, medyo nationwide tong show na to. Hindi naman siya Metro Manila centric, no? So I thought that was kind of nice. I didn't realize that actually until Shanks mentioned it kanina. So let's do a quick recap of what happened last week first, and then we'll do Aldrin's market analysis. So for the first timers, the first time viewers on the show, Aldrin does his market analysis. He tells us what he thinks is about to happen in the next week, and then we all try to make bets about what the Bitcoin price is gonna be. I'm so wrong again with my bet, but I'm starting to get really used to that because I'm always a little bit too optimistic. So let's do a quick recap first. Let me show you my screen here. Okay. Almost everything is red, no? Parang Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB. I mean, obviously USDT hindi naman gagalaw yan kasi stablecoin nga, diba? But ADA, even Polkadot, they're all kind of red right now. Bitcoin in particular, minus 5%. Bitcoin and Ethereum, like minus 5% sila in the last 24 hours, actually. So pretty red. And then I remember that when we were betting last week, I said $62,000 yung Bitcoin price tonight. Obviously, super layo. Like, as in, I think I'm off by over 10%. Aldrin Rabino, what was your... Could you remind the audience kung ano yung bet mo last
Ah,
week?
last week AXS yung
Yeah,
Ah,
AX.
binet
right. Oh,
natin
we
and
didn't
then
do... Oh nga pala, sorry. Wala nga palang Bitcoin. Sorry, I
BTC
was thinking 2 weeks ago. Right, right, right.
last
So
week
what
yeah,
was...
we mentioned
What was
yeah.
AXS? Hold on, let me check. What's AXS right now? AXS minus 13%. Actually, medyo pula din siya. um, so, nagkatotoo yung situation that Shanks and KooKoo were looking for because they wanted to buy AXS. Tama? Like you guys were
Yes.
saying somewhere between 150 to 200 yung range nyo, di ba?
Yes,
So
sir.
ito yon. This is it. This is the moment. Now you can buy. This you can
Yeah.
finally buy. Um, can anyone tell me why? Why do you think it happened? What do you think it is? Any theories? Aldrin, any theories on AXS why nag-negative siya or nag-red siya this week?
For technical perspective, there's a all-time highs retest na kasi sa early eh. So there's a
Okay.
probability na the price will decline muna. Something like a corrective before it continues
Mm-hmm.
yung
You want to
rally
share
niya.
your screen? You want
Sige.
to share your
I'll
screen? Ito para
share.
ano. By the way, while Adrian is doing that, if you don't know what this page that I'm sharing is right now, so this is the BloomX.app. So if you've never heard of it, this is BloomX's brand new crypto trading app. I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. It's meant for beginners, crypto trading beginners. So it's not meant for experts. But it is meant for people who want to trade peso, Philippine peso for cryptocurrencies. And we support about 250 different cryptocurrencies here. Kaya nakikita niyo lahat ng mga presyo na sa peso. Hindi siya dollar price, no? And ito mismo yung price that you would buy or sell Bitcoin or Ethereum on BloomX if you are a member of BloomX. So if you've never heard of it, please join the waitlist. It's on I've just put the link in the chat so you can go to the website right now and then join the waitlist. Aldrin, let me share your screen. There you go. Okay, game. So retrace. We're testing. What are you were saying
Okay.
earlier? Yeah.
So, ayun, last week, andito tayo around this 5.6 to 5.5 USDT excess. So after that, there's a lot of retest na kasi din dito sa early, pero the price momentum goes down lang. So here, price goes down. Pero before, last week, we mentioned this divergence na din. Then after that, the price goes up. Pero yung oscillators natin, which is the CCI, is something like losing momentum siya dito, going down. So we mentioned din last week that this area will possibly um, retested, no? Itong area na to or pwedeng puntahan ng price action kasi ito yung mga plinat natin last week na mga indicators and then tools. Ito yung Fibonacci. Tanggalin ko lang
Mm-hmm.
for clear
Mm-hmm.
illustration. So, yun, last week we add Fibonacci retracements, no? So, after that, we measure from its previous size and then going here. So, eto, nilagay ko to as an indicator or as a legend, no, for
Mm-hmm.
golden ratio, wherein if the price retested, there's a probability that the price action will um, goes up or magkakaroon ng reversal kasi 50 sa ating Fibonacci retracements is a golden ratio. And then after that, on the CCI, as we can see here, kabaliktaran na siya. There's a pullback ng momentum na. And then after that, the price is go down. So it's a regular divergence to. I'm sorry. Ito. It's a regular divergence. So oscillator CCI is going up and then the price action is going down. So it's a bullish for me It's a bullish itong gantong move. Not financial advice, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, yun.
Mm-hmm.
Etong move din na to is relatively the same with BTC. So, we have here an impulse move, and then corrective, and then impulse, and then corrective
Mm-hmm.
move. So, if we
Okay.
compare that with BTC, so we have an impulse, sorry. We have impulse, corrective. So, yeah,
Wow. Okay.
it's relatively the same move. So, yun,
Mm-hmm.
as we mentioned last week that there's a retracement or there's an decline first before the price pullbacks or recovers its price, no.
Mm-hmm.
So yun, it's normal sa market if you're a technical trader, no, if you see that kind of move. So
Right.
yep, yeah.
What's ano? So how many days does Shanks and KooKoo have left to buy AXS at this bargain price? Yun na lang. I guess maybe that's the most useful question.
Yes,
Are
yes.
we expecting it to come back very quickly, yung current price? Kasi like, where are we at right now? 193 pesos yung current price natin. Are we expecting it to bounce back soon? Above 200 pesos, above $4?
Siguro if we measure this move kasi isa sa napapansin ko din mas bagal yung corrective pero yung impulsive if ever na malakas talaga yung momentum ng crypto markets is mabilis lang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, something
Mm-hmm.
like, for example, dito na lang, let's measure the date range na lang. So,
Okay.
dito, before it brokens itong previous size, something
Mm-hmm.
like, it runs around 8 days
Huh.
before it
Okay.
brokes out.
So
Something
the
like,
the next the next BloomCast, in other words, by the next episode magkakaalaman kung bumili talaga tong dalawang to. Okay, sige. Good enough. I guess so. Kukuy, nakamute ka.
Obvious
Nakamute ka.
ka, Paps.
Lugi ako, malalaman mo yun. Magde-deposit pa lang ako.
Oo nga.
Oo nga. Si KooKoo and Shanks, actually, all three guys on the show right now, KooKoo, Shanks, and Aldrin, they're actually early users of BloomX.app. So, obviously, hindi ko pwedeng i-share kung ano yung trading activities nila sa BloomX.app. That would be very unprofessional of me. But I can tell pag bumibili sila. So, I now have this weird advantage because I can watch Aldrin's trading behavior kahit tapos susundan ko na lang yung binibili niya. Ganun, or just,
but
obviously,
yeah,
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 but
yeah.
but siguro it's a quick disclaimer na lang sa end ko. In case na mabasag kasi tong 50, set stops
Sige.
ako dito around this area. Kasi
Okay.
it will go, probability the price will go to the previous highs. I mean, yeah.
Which is, which
Which
is
is
one na?
around 3 USD.
$3? Ah, okay. Okay.
Yes.
So, pwede pa
So,
siyang
in
bumaba lalo.
case,
So, yung 150 target ni Shanks might actually still happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still a good
Alright.
news, actually.
Yeah. I mean, and like you said last week, Shanks, 'di ba? Parang, or KooKoo, I guess. Parang if you're a believer
Yeah.
in the project, doesn't matter naman so much kung ano yung price week on week eh. Pero
Right.
obviously, it matters a little bit kung gusto mong bumili, no? So, kaya mo
Right.
i-maximize yung pesos mo and
Yeah.
buy a little bit cheaper. Yun na lang siguro yung goal. Anyway, okay, so I guess what I will probably do, I will continue to ask for Aldrin's trading advice without him actually knowing that I'm asking for his trading advice. Panoorin ko yung ginagawa niya. Tapos gagayahin ko
Maybe
na lang.
maybe
no,
you could
no,
add
no.
a feature no na you can mimic someone like maybe Aldrin.
There is
No.
in other platforms like eToro does this very very famously. So that's called copy
Yeah.
trading. So
Copy
pag meron
trading.
kang isang trader na you really
Follow.
follow this guy's advice,
Copy
susundan
trade.
mo lang automatically lahat ng trades niya, which is very interesting, no? Like kung you don't want to be the one watching the charts and you just trust this guy.
Yeah.
Yun lang, ganun, super simple. I
Copy
mean,
trade.
obviously, we don't have that exact feature yet. Pero so for now, you have to kind of rely on Aldrin to tell you what he's doing. Bro, by the way, before we end the market segment, I wanted to ask you pala, how would you feel if you did like a few minutes every week where you talk about yung holdings mo sa BloomX app tapos kung ano yung mga trades na ginawa mo that week? Would that be kind of an interesting thing? Would that be parang an interesting way to show parang yung market performance or yung mga trading decisions mo? Do you think that would work, Aldrin? Do you still use the BloomX app for regular trading right now?
Right now for more on ano kasi siya more on basics. Pero it's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
convenient. It's very convenient for as a beginner. If pwede ko siya i-replicate sa advanced trading ko eh. So for example, if I bought SLP on Binance because it's on the support area, I can trade as
Buy a
well on
little bit.
BloomX, yeah, because
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
validation between the two platforms and you buy with the proper validations and basis. Eh. So yeah, pwede can be considered buying
Sige,
that
sige.
kind of.
Sige, pag-usapan pa natin. Kasi
But-
I've been thinking about a segment like that just for fun lang, pero not obviously small money, no? So, the minimum trade sa BloomX is only 500 pesos eh. So, kahit ganun lang kaliliit yung mga trading positions mo, like, I don't care so much about the amount of money naman, di ba? What I care about is, the decisions that you made to get you to that point. That's what's interesting to me. Eh. And obviously, the amounts are less important. Anyway, so, yun, I guess that's, let me share my screen again and just show you guys so this is the AXS page kasi on BloomX. Eh. So as you can see, it started the year in January. It was 25 pesos. And so I think this is a pretty good buy pa rin, no? Like considering that it went from 25 pesos to 222 pesos. I think that's a pretty good buy. I don't actually own any more AXS right now, unfortunately. That's too bad. I wish I had held it. But Bloom holds AXS as a company because we made some small investments early on. Eh. Anyway, so ayun, so I guess I'm also showing one of the other key features of BloomX, no? So parang very easily makikita mo agad yung last week's performance niya. Na in a way, parang ginawa ko siya specifically for the show. Para madali ko, like anytime that I want to show you guys what the performance was this week, madali siya makita. So nakita mo na, bumaba siya, minus 28% over the last 7 days. Tapos yung pinakabababa niya was 180 pesos, but it's now a little bit higher than that here. So ayun, that's kind of some of the features of the app. And that's it for the commercials for this episode, I promise. I just wanted to make sure that people were aware of the products that we were building for the community. So ayun, so that's Now, let's go back to the original topic of the episode. I wanted to go back to Axie Infinity because last week what we were talking about was parang how to know when it's time to buy, how to know how you make that first investment. But I think na kulang yung details because I still wasn't sure. And after the episode kasi, I started talking to my friends about it. And a few of us, we thought, you know what we want to do? Gusto namin, again, gagayahin sana namin si Aldrin na nagpapascholar. So I was like, oh, okay, so paano ko gagawin yun? So I want to be able to do that too. We want to be able to sponsor a player, maybe a few players, with a little bit of money muna. We'll put our money together, kaming yung barkada ko. But we don't exactly know how eh. Like, how do you even start? No? And I assume na yung scholar mo hindi rin naman necessarily expert player. Because I guess if they were already an expert player, then they wouldn't need a scholarship. Tama ba? Like, tama ba yung logic doon? Or do you guys have scholars na like expert players? Is that, you think,
Yeah.
Is that
Meron.
possible?
Meron din namang
Okay.
mga experts. Even competing sa tournaments, mga scholars din eh. Some are scholars.
Pero sa umpisa, I mean like, let's say na scholar siya, as in, he just became a scholar like now. Is it possible na, marunong na talaga siya? Even at the start?
Yeah, madali lang matutunan yung game actually. Hindi siya ganun ka-complicated. Siguro nagiging
Okay.
complicated lang siya kapag yung frustration mo to win at the same time kung gusto mong umabot sa leaderboards ng kokonti lang yung inventory mo ng Axie. Doon lang siya talaga magiging complicated. Pero siguro for a beginner, as long as maintindihan lang nila yung description doon sa card and then they know how to use it, eventually masasanay din sila eh. Kaya nga every time na meron akong tinuturuan, sinasabi ko na practice mo muna yung sarili mo sa adventure kasi nandun yung walang time pressure dun eh. Kalaban mo lang is AI eh. So practice mo yung sequence ng card at the same time yung pag-save ng energy mo. Pag sa PvP ka na, masasanay ka na rin. Nga lang, syempre, mind games yan. At least, meron ka ng idea on how to use your card. In a certain scenario, for example, ganito yung nangyari, then masasanay ka na paano siya gagamitin yung team synergy mo. So, yeah, madali naman siya matutunan.
Okay, sige. So let's operate under the assumption na, well, actually it's not even an assumption. Kami yung beginners. In other words, yung investor, yung I guess you could call us kunwari, kami yung parang
managers.
You could just call sige, managers. Yeah. So kami yung beginners and then yung players namin they know more about the game than us. Okay, sige. What's the like so maybe this is a question for all of you. Like so but I'll start with Aldrin. Yung pinascholar mo, was it the team that you built yourself or like did you buy a team for them? How did that work?
Axie team, yung tatlong Axie team.
Uh-huh.
Actually hindi ko siya brinid. Binili ko siya sa marketplace. As mentioned at the last podcast na I've already accumulated way back last year around November. So nakatenga lang kasi siya eh. So I discover yung scholar sa mga videos din ni Coco sa YouTube niya. So I decided to segregate sa mga kakilala ko lang din. So it's total I bought binili ko siya sa marketplace din. And ayun, disclaimer soon pala siguro mag-add pa ako ng more Axies kasi on my
dami mo ng pera eh.
No. Marami lang yung may mga kaibigan din na nagre-reach out pero yun parang interested din sila pero ayun nga parang disclaimer lang na pinag-iisipan.
Okay, sige. So, I guess maybe another question for you, Aldrin, before I like yung mga friends mo na nagpa-pilot ng teams mo ngayon, were they already Axie players before? Or did they just learn it because you had a team that you could give them?
Actually hindi sila ma-Axie player. Mga something like Dota player or mga yung mga online games.
So gamers. So gamers pero hindi necessarily Axie yung expertise nila. Okay. Okay, so I guess this goes back to what KooKoo was saying na madali naman siya matutunan. Kailangan mo lang ng time. Okay. What do you guys think is the most correct way to approach this? And this is for KooKoo and Shanks naman. So you have some money. Let's say you have enough money for that first team. You're gonna just buy it na lang. You'll buy it from I don't know, a seller. Maybe not necessarily the marketplace, no, but maybe from a seller. Should you go and look for a player who already has who's already played Axie a lot, or is it okay to get someone who just has time? Like, what do you think is the best Kasi parang ang dami pang players out there who have never tried this, di ba? They're gamers. They probably know how to play a lot of the other online games are similar, but they've never touched Axie before. So what do you think? What's your recommendation on that? KooKoo?
Ako, mas prefer, kasi pag naghahanap kasi ako ng scholar, I look for the desire to really play the game and earn more than the skills. Kasi yung skills pwede mo turuan eh. Yung attitude kasi medyo mahirap. So, if I feel na itong tao na to mas matutulungan ko, I look for deserving people. And then, ayun, may mga videos naman ako to guide them at meron naman akong time din para naman at least i-assist sila on how to use the the Axies na ibibigay ko sa kanila. Hindi naman ako magke-create ng teams na just for the sake of magpa-scholar. I make sure na yung mga teams na ibibigay ko sa kanila na pwede nilang ma-optimize yung synergy ng team and malaki yung advantage. In short, I look for teams na at least makakuha man lang ng 60 to 70% win rate sa arena kahit na bago sila. Kasi eventually yun nga masasanay din sila dun sa team build regardless of the classes as long as alam nila kung paano yung discipline dun sa paglalaro. So yun yung tinitingnan ko.
60 to 70% is a reasonable target?
Actually, 50% is
50.
already good na.
Yeah,
Hindi mo naman
yeah,
kailangan
yeah.
ng mataas na win rate eh. Medyo ano
Yeah,
lang
yeah.
ako eh. Medyo, kasi I'm a type of breeder na I breed for a purpose, not because to sell the teams. I breed kasi gusto kong, in the long run, gusto ko malakas yung mga axes ko. Gusto ko meron akong edge from other players. Para at least
Yeah.
yung mga scholars ko din, they can enjoy farming yung SLP while they're playing. Kasi mahirap maglaro ng yung team mo medyo weak tapos mapofrustrate ka. Pero surprisingly may mga players na kahit mahina yung team, in a sense, kunwari titignan ko parang hindi yata to optimal. Pero nakakapag-farm sila ng maraming SLP in a certain period of time. So it really depends. Pero ako I make sure na pwede ko silang mabigyan ng magandang teams para at least
So in other words,
ma-enjoy nila.
yung pilot skill also has a big effect on the win rate. Parang the team obviously the team composition has an effect on it, but pilot skill makes a difference.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Shanks? Like, have you, actually maybe this is a more open question for you. Do you have anyone scholar under you right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I have like siguro mga 40 plus ngayon, and then
Okay.
very long wait list. And then
Pahabaan tayo ng waitlist. Okay, sige. That's cool.
Yeah. if Luis, baka after this show nga sobrang dami ng DMs. Good luck. And then yung mga scholars ko halo-halo eh, merong mga hindi gamers, merong mga gamers. And then I tend to experiment with the teams that they're using. Depende sa meta. There's a player who's using the usual bird beast plant. Yung favorite ng lahat bago na nerf, yung double aqua plant, which was around 1 ETH before. And that's with a really high breed count. And then another one, my personal favorite build, like the double tank and then a bruiser type of Axie. So all of them actually, I mean, at some point nagva-vary na sa teams na hawak nila kasi sa type of Axie na hawak nila. Kasi the skill is, I mean, it can be learned, sabi ni KooKoo. I think the only difference is how they understand the basic of the game. Like, it's a card game and it's energy based. So depende na lang sa kung paano nila i-manage yung skills ng Axie na hawak nila and kung paano nila i-manage yung card na nando-draw, whether they're gonna use it or not on a specific round, mga ganun, kung kailan sila aatake, kailan sila dedepensa. Kasi at the end of the day, merong mga players who's using even the very, like, what we call the chop suey team, pero nasa mga high ranks. So, ayun. Pero that skill na sinasabi, even if you're a gamer, it might take some time before you master it. Kasi meron ako nakikitang kahit hindi siya gamer pero binigyan ko lang mga 2 to 3 weeks. Maganda na din yung win rate niya. Ganun.
Okay.
So it will take some time.
I guess there's also yung component na kailangan medyo gets mo yung meta game, no? So you can kind of recognize early on kung ano yung strategy ng kalaban mo and maybe what things you can do to combat yung particular strategy na yon. So that comes with experience. There's no way for you to know this at the start. You have to play several weeks of games. Sige. Before we move on, I want to make sure that we answer these two questions. So yung kay Jeric, when the price of Axie comes down, I guess it's just asking like if there's a chance, no, kung bababa siya. Hannah is asking the same question. So I just wanted to make sure we address that. So what's the correct way to answer questions like this? KooKoo, like, is there a chance that the price will go down? Is that even important? I guess baka yun yung other question.
Yeah. Okay. I think ilang beses na natin to or ilang beses ko na nasagot to, no? Always look at the price of ETH kasi ETH yung currency na ginagamit sa breeding sa Axie economy. So, kung bumaba yung presyo ng ETH in peso value, of course, bababa yung presyo. Pero kasi kami, for example, nagbe-breed ako, bumibili ako sa marketplace, for me, bumababa yung presyo ng Axie in terms of ETH, pero tumataas siya in terms of pesos. So, yung question diyan, kung bababa ba siya in terms of pesos. Kung in terms of pesos ang usapan, ganito lang yung sagot diyan. Kung bababa yung presyo ng ETH in pesos, bababa yung presyo ng Axie.
Yes. It's so, like asking bababa yung ETH or Bitcoin.
Yeah,
yes.
Right.
So, yun yung pinaka simplest way to answer that. Kasi kung basis natin ay ETH, same pa rin naman yung binabayaran naming fees sa marketplace. Same pa rin naman binabayaran naming breeding fees ng ETH sa Axie. So, in short, kaya kami as breeders, we base our pricing in ETH. Kasi kung titingnan namin siya sa pesos, like for example, one is right now, 85,000 pesos. Talagang medyo nakakalula siya. Tulad ng sinabi ni Shanks, double aqua team before I bought it at 1.3 ETH. Right now, magkano yung triple aqua na team or double aqua na team is less than 1 ETH. So mas mura ngayon kung tutuusin kesa nung binili ko siya na 1.3.
Pero yung peso value niya.
Yung peso value niya tumaas, of course. So yun yung difference. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe the more long-term way to answer this question is if you believe that Ether price is going to go down, then likely bababa din yung price ng Axie teams mo, at least relative to peso. The problem is, I don't think anyone on this podcast currently believes na bababa yung price ng Ether. Not in a way that's significant to yung, like, I don't think it's gonna go down half. I don't think it's gonna lose 50% of its price. That's very, very unlikely right now.
Especially
of the
especially of the changes right now, the EIP and then yung NFTs yung NFT boom right now. So yun lang yung difference.
Yeah, so parang if you're waiting for a chance for the Ether price to drop by 50% para makabili ka na ng Axie team, I think you're gonna be waiting a really long time. I don't think. Parang it feels kind of unlikely. I don't know. Aldrin, do you agree with that? That sentiment, or are you more bearish with Ethereum?
Yeah. For me, fundamental perspective for Ethereum is whales are playing on the NFT side. So karamihan na NFT is integrated with Ethereum. So for me, there's a lot of factors na i-consider para for Ethereum, pero majority of that is there's a lot of projects and NFT nga na well-known influencers pa yung mga bibigay ng perspective. So for now, I'm still on Ethereum with something like an uptrend pa din ako as of the moment. Personal perspective ka lang, not financial advice. So I don't see any negative catalyst for Ethereum coming.
Baliktarin natin yung tanong. Ito naman, may chance ba tumaas pa presyo ng SLP like 10 to 15 pesos?
Siguro. if ever tumaas man, maybe just like what happened with the fortune shield, just very quick. So if you have a sell order of around 10 to 15, then good for you. Meron kang SLP at that amount. Pero right now 3 pesos SLP medyo interesting kasi it never, I think before nasa 2 pesos lang. And then
Saglit
we are
lang yan.
Oo. So pwede, di ba? Saglit
Aldrin, what do
lang.
you think? Is 10 pesos a target, a realistic target, or
On perspective ko, siguro not financial advice again, guys. Siguro yes for me kasi if you look
okay.
at BTHO before, hindi ko sinishell tong coin na to pero I just looking at that trend kay BTHO eh. So previous trend niya is decline, and then after that price accumulates, and then it goes up na after the breakout of the accumulation phase, no. So yeah, it's possible. It's my own opinion lang, guys, not financial advice. Yeah, it
KooKoo
could be
Crypto, you
possible.
were shaking your head kanina. Tell me your reason.
Speculate.
Ito yung disclaimer ko kasi diyan.
Okay.
Hindi yung sinasabi ng disclaimer ni Aldred. Pero yung disclaimer ko diyan, I'm not against for SLP to go up. Okay? Yun nga lang, kung inaas mo na, for example, if you're hoping for an SLP pump, then prepare for an Axie price pump. Kasi directly, proportional yung presyo ng SLP sa presyo ng Axie kasi yun yung ginagamit for breeding eh.
Yeah.
So, if you wish for SLP to go high, then expect for the Axie prices to go up. Honestly, gusto ko ganyang level lang siya, 2 pesos, 3 pesos. Pero kung for example, let's say yung market is accepting na okay, sige, yung price ng Axies right now are 50,000 plus. Kung tanggap nila yon because they are making a lot of money from farming SLP, they can make their money back in 2 to 3 months, then okay lang sa akin. Kung 10 pesos, and then in 3 months, willing din silang bumili ng 100,000 pesos worth na Axie, okay lang din sa akin. Basta, ang importante doon, maunawaan ng mga tao yung economy. Yung importance tsaka yung use case ng SLP, which is a breeding tool. Yeah.
So directly, do you mean not directly proportionate? So like, okay, so let's do the math, no? So kunwari, 3 pesos ngayon yung SLP. The price of your average Axie team is 50,000 pesos. That means that if SLP was, let's just say 15 pesos, that means that the price of your average Axie team will be times 5, magiging 250,000 pesos on average. Is that what you're roughly saying?
Yeah. Well, kasi for example, in a virgin or zero breed count, you will pay 100 SLP per Axie. So dalawa 'yon. So it's a pair, so 200 SLP. And then as you breed pa yung Axie na 'yon, madadagdagan, magta-times 2 'yon eh. So sa second breed mo, yung same pair na 'yon, 1 out of 7 na siya. Yung sa second breed, magiging 400 na siya.
Okay.
400 na yung SLP na babayaran mo. So, hindi na siya 100. So, hanggang maging 800, hanggang 1,600, hanggang maging 3,100. So, let's say 3,100 for a breed ng isang Axie, and then times mo ng 10 pesos yung price. Isang breed count pa lang, nasa 3,000 pesos na yung isang Axie mo na breed count.
Yeah.
So, yun
3,100 SLP?
SLP.
Wouldn't that mean they would be 31,000 pesos?
Yeah,
possible, yes.
Kung 10 pesos.
Kung SLP lang SLP pa lang yan.
Yeah. Wow. What the fuck? Tas may gas fee ka pa?
Yes.
Okay.
May breeding fee ka pa, may morph fee ka pa.
Wow.
Hindi pa kasama yun.
Okay. So, what is behind the question of, I forgot his name now, yung nagtatanong nga na kung posible siya maging 10 to 15 pesos. Is it because he's thinking about yung earnings niya?
Most likely.
They want to get their money back as soon as possible. Syempre. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Kasi medyo malaking pera talaga right now kung pag-uusapan natin yung 60, 70, 80,000 pesos of a team. And then, wise question yon kung yung perspective mo is kailan babalik yung pera mo. Pero kung tatanungin mo kung kailan babalik out of fear, then, you make a lot of wrong decisions, lalo na kung pagpili ng team. Kasi we've heard a lot of stories na nagmamadali sila na makakuha ng team. Eventually, they ended up with a very poor team instead of getting the decent ones and good ones. So,
right.
Chopsuey.
Okay. One more question here. What do I actually need to look out for when I'm ready to claim my SLP and actually turn it into money? SLP to ETH exchange rate or SLP to PHP exchange rate? Because some scholarships managers pay them by the equivalent SLP. Actually, this is a really good. This is two questions. This is actually two questions, but I want to do the last question first because this is interesting to me. Are managers supposed to pay in SLP, or are they supposed to pay in I don't know, whatever, peso? Like, what is the most correct method here, in your opinion, lang?
Well, for me, it really varies on the manager,
Okay.
basically. So, because before I used to pay them. I mean, if you're a first time or if you're a newbie, so the reason why you applied for a scholarship, diba, is you don't have the budget to purchase your team. You don't have an ETH. So I pay them first in ETH, and then the following withdrawals is SLP na. That way, they will also learn how to do the trades themselves instead of.
Pero, so, paano yun? Kanya-kanya na sila. In other words, pag binigay mo ng SLP, bahala na sila how they wanna, and they can actually speculate on the price of SLP.
Yeah,
if they wanted to.
Oh, and then they can like hold on to their SLP muna instead of like forcing the SLP to be, exchange into ETH or peso. So they have the freedom to trade whenever they want. And then it's easier for us then sa managers to get the percentage, like the cut.
Right.
Kasi SLP lang naman yung kukunan mo ng cut doon eh.
Aldrin Rabino, ano yung method mo personally dun sa scholars mo? Like, are you turning it into pesos before you pay them, or are you giving them the actual SLP?
It depends kasi din sa agreement namin. May agreement din ako sa isang scholar ko na gusto niya SLP na lang yung matanggap niya. And then, pero it depends. I ask my scholars if ever na kung ano yung gusto niya, if ever na PHP or SLP. So, same with Shanks' perspective.
Okay. KooKoo, do you agree na ganun yung it's better to just have the players make the decision, or what do you think?
Yes, mas prefer ko talaga mag-payout ng SLP kasi yun naman yung na-earn nila eh. Basically, para at least madali lang din yung conversion, di ka na mag-iisip ng rates. At the same time, they have the power to do whatever they want to do with their SLP. If they want to speculate on it, then go for it. Pero ang sinasabi ko sa mga scholars ko kasi, don't wait for SLP to go high. Convert it into ETH kasi ETH mismo yung ETH mismo yung kailangan mong bantayan. Kasi kung mag-speculate ka ng SLP, abutin ka ng matagal niyan. Hintayin mo may mag-shield niyan. Pero kung mag-convert ka na ng ETH, percentage of your earnings, convert it into ETH, then you can speculate sa ETH. Diba? You can get to know more about the ecosystem of cryptocurrency or blockchain through ETH. Kung yun yung first introduction mo sa blockchain. So, yun, mas okay para sa akin yun dahil natututo sila. Kasi ang goal ko naman is ma-onboard sila, matutunan nila talaga yung space.
Okay, all right. So, I'm trying to weigh yung mga opinions niya right now. Because like I'm thinking, it's actually pretty easy for us if we did have our own scholars, it's pretty easy for us to turn it into pesos. I mean, I guess that was the point of BloomX, no? So, parang madali lang naman for us to give them, all of our players, we could give them BloomX accounts, tapos you just throw the SLP there, tapos turn it directly into peso. Parang hindi na iisipin masyado yung But then, I remember you said something that you need to be aware of the SLP exchange rate as a player. Is that, actually, you know what? I can't remember which one of you said that, but like, is that something that you think is important? Like right now, if you were an Axie player, do you have to be parang aware of the daily SLP to peso exchange rate? Or what do you think?
Yeah, kung gusto mong quick money, then you really need to have like an app where magre-remind sa'yo kung pumalo yung price ng SLP, then you can exchange it. Pero good thing, I noticed sa mga scholars ko, they have the discipline right now to save up their SLP and then wait for a certain amount of SLP before they withdraw. Ano pa to, aside from dun sa force or not force but required withdrawal na 6,000 minimum. So mas nakikita ko sa kanila na that they're improving in their decision making when it comes to exchanging their SLP agad. Kasi naunawaan na nila yung mga scholars ko, they've been with me for several months. So alam na nila na hindi, bababa, tataas din yan. So ano na lang, ipunin na lang nila para at least maramdaman nila, and at the same time napipilitan sila mag-save ng SLP para kapag kailangan lang nila, doon lang sila magso-swap.
I mean, that's the correct way to treat any kind of money, right? I mean, don't spend it agad. Try to save it if you can. Okay, one more question from Carl Ladrido. Is it possible to? Okay, this is a sad question. This question makes me really sad. Is it possible to retrieve my SLP that is sent to CoinsPH? I mean, I'll let you guys answer, pero I think I already know the answer to this one. I don't think there's a way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, unfortunately, yung reality, and I'm sorry to say this, Carl, pero yung ETH address kasi ng CoinsPH, walang naka-attach na smart contract to that, and it can't see that the thing that you're sending it is SLP. It doesn't even know what SLP is. So, as far as we know, there's never been an instance na na-release yung a token from coins.ph that was not supported by coins.ph. So, and that's really just ETH, no? ETH is the only real token that that you can send to a coins.ph wallet. Unfortunately, we don't know any instances of anyone who's been able to get their SLP out, which is very unfortunate. I kind of wish na it wasn't the case, no? Pero parang I don't think that it's possible unless i-upgrade talaga ng coins.ph yung buong wallet infrastructure nila. So anyway, that's unfortunate. Okay, let's move on to another question. I saw one here. Where did it go? Are there any games like Axie? What's in cryptos? What does that mean?
Cryptocurrency.
Maybe in the blockchain.
Blockchain.
Okay, what is that? But like what? Like any other games? You mean like
Play to earn?
other
Yeah,
blockchain
maybe play
games.
to earn.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot, right?
There's a
I
lot.
don't know. Yeah, but like, what's one that you would recommend if parang for someone who's already done the whole Axie thing or wants to explore something else? What's the second recommendation you'd make?
Yeah, si
Does
Shanks.
anyone have any other recommendation? Si Shanks, okay, fine, Shanks. What's your recommendation? Kung hindi Axie.
While I was waiting for Ronin kasi I get really bored, so I checked out this team, Gala Games. They're trying to be the Steam in blockchain.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of incoming projects, AAA games there as they claim it. But the first one that they currently have is like Farmville or Farm Town, and the developer as well is from Zynga. Yeah.
So it's the Farmville guys. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
okay.
then it's free to play. You could earn if you manage to enter the top 100. But yeah, that's it. You get to earn Gala tokens, which is I think a peso right now, peso and 50 cents.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You know, speaking of which, so I don't know if you guys mentioned, one of us mentioned last week yung My Neighbor Alice. Have you guys heard of that?
I've seen that, yeah, but
I'm just gonna show you really quickly what that. So it's 500 pesos per My Neighbor Alice token right now, no. But dude, look at the fucking percent change on that. So last 7 days down 36%, no. So super taas niya last week, 1,000 pesos, $25 ata. And then now it's kind of like something like this. No? Anyway, I just Yeah, okay, so no one's played My Neighbor Alice
Yeah,
or
I
whatever.
was waiting for kasi nasa launchpad yan eh.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Binance has this feature na you stake BNB and then you earn tokens. And then nasa Telegram group din ako ng game na yan. And I was curious kasi and then gusto ko kasi siyang ipalaro sa wife ko dahil alam mo na parang girly thing na game and then you can earn some money. So Farmville. Um So the launch price is 0.125 USD.
Okay.
Wala
Wow.
pang wala pang 1
Holy
minute,
shit.
wala pang 1 minute nasa ano na siya, nasa $30 na siya. 10, 15, 20, $30. Ang bilis agad niya mag-pump. And the game
Wow.
hasn't even launched yet. So
Yeah. Okay.
medyo personal opinion, I don't really, invest into games that doesn't have enough wala pa talaga.
Yeah.
Well, we can speculate.
Nauna yung token.
Nauna yung token before the game itself. I'm not against it, pero mas
Yeah.
okay kasi na makita muna ng mga gamers na okay nilalaro yung game before they really invest. Ako mas okay ako na late. Late din naman ako sa Axie eh. Pero nakita ko na nagwo-work na siya eh. So medyo sigurista ako doon.
Yeah.
Or maybe nakita ko lang yung opportunity na hindi pa siya ganun ka-ripe yung market. So pumasok ako agad. Pero with this kind of launch, medyo I think siguro aralin niyo muna bago niyo pasukin. Huwag kayong magpa-hype doon sa mga launch kasi maraming mga games eh. At hanapin niyo yung mga game developers na talagang they can deliver. Kasi
Right.
pag pumasok yung bear market, let's say na yung mga napagdaanan ni Axie before, they've been building the game for 3 years pero tuloy-tuloy until now yung development eh. So
Yes.
you need to look for teams like that na talagang hungry for success na kahit na bear market they still develop the game.
Okay. So in case you guys didn't understand that, we are not endorsing My Neighbor Alice. Just to be super clear. But dude, like I have to say, like we have some friends of the show, friends of Bloom, that made so much money on My Neighbor Alice tokens just this
Yes.
last week, no? Because grabe yung grabe yung run up niya. But I mean, obviously, if something goes up that sharply, it's unlikely na ma-maintain niya yung high price. Always that will retrace. So okay, anyway, all right. So that's it. That's pretty interesting to talk about stuff like that.
Yeah, and sorry Luis, to add dun sa
Yeah, go
question
ahead.
mo. I'll add siguro mga kasi I'm planning to launch some videos about different games then as well na I had the opportunity to play the game on their closed beta. So watch out for yung mga games na yun. And we made sure na we studied na may neighbor KooKoo na lang. We studied the games before we introduce it to our community. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sige. I think that's the most responsible thing to do. Sorry, Aldrin, go ahead.
Okay, siguro doon na lang kay My Neighbor Alice. On technical perspective talaga sa Binance, hindi ako nag-trade din pag basically launch, kakalist lang niya. No? Unang-una, wala siyang validation, walang basis. So, if you trade that coin, it's totally a gambling for me, on perspective lang. And then on the My Alice side naman, it will represent sa mga play to earn, no? So, nakilala nila si Alice, it's a play to earn. And then, if these people search play to earn cryptocurrencies, so what will happen, it will makikilala din nila si Axie Infinity at the same time. So,
Right.
yeah, parang ganun yung perspective ko na something like may connections din if ever na acquire nila or yung player na yun will acquire Alice Neighborhood, they will search play to earn cryptocurrencies, and then yeah, they will also discover Axie Infinity as well. Yun. Yeah.
Luis, sorry. Natawa ako bigla, naalala ko bigla. Kasi yung mga nagko-comment niyan about My Neighbor Alice. I was doing the video for Bloom.
Okay.
Nakalimutan ko na 2 PM pala yung launchpad. In-upload ko yung video ng 3 PM. So I was doing the video ng Bloom X na tutorial. Tapos naglo-launchpad na pala siya. So nakalimutan ko. Tapos pag bigla akong nakita doon sa server namin, may mga nakabili na, may mga naiwan na, so na-frustrate na.
Okay. Wow.
Kaya medyo masakit yung ano ko. Naiwan ako eh.
May staking. It's also got staking? Like, what's that?
Yeah.
Why is there already staking? How could there be staking already? There's no game yet.
Yeah,
So, like-
yung sa staking kasi, you can stake your BNB to earn Alice.
BNB.
And then you can also stake
okay.
Alice soon kapag nag-open din yung staking nila, rewards nila. Yeah.
Okay.
So yun na lang ginawa ko, nag-stake na lang din ako. Kesa bumili.
Same.
Kesa
Wow.
bumili.
Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like that's the more safe approach, no? Because
Yes, yeah.
it sounds like if you're buying into a token that has no fundamentals, that is basically just gambling. Like you're really just gambling on that token. And
Right.
you know what? Like there's nothing wrong with gambling. I mean, obviously, do what you want with your money, no? Pero there's literally 8,000 cryptocurrencies out there. How do you even know what to gamble on unless you pick based on fundamentals? There has to be some thought and planning to this. Otherwise, walang sense. You're just like throwing money around parang aimlessly.
Right,
But that
right.
being said, yun nga. So there you go. My neighbor Alice. I don't know why we suddenly went on that detour, but there you go. So we're now talking about my neighbor Alice. Okay, sorry. It's now 7:30. We still haven't shared a single Axie team. Like we were supposed to do an episode about like what your ideal beginner team is. So do you wanna help us out? Like who wants to share their screen? There you go.
Yeah, wait.
Who wants to share their screen?
You have a
maybe
team,
show
Cooks?
us your
Yeah.
your just a
Sige.
test team, like a beginner friendly Axie team, and then really like explain to us kung bakit yun yung pinakamadali, I guess, na na
Alright.
team. Yeah.
Wait lang. Wait.
Kung gusto niyo magpuyat, subukan niyo mag-top shots. Because the games are because the sale is
Yes,
US time.
madaling araw.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I hate that. Also, I don't know anything about NBA, so I don't even know like diba? No idea. Anyway, okay, sorry. While you're doing that, KooKoo, I'm just gonna quickly answer this. So Jay is asking kung ano yung official launch date ng BloomX. Jay, we are not sure. I think that's the most honest way I can say it. We will launch this when we think that the product is stable and secure and ready for like, a lot of users. So at the moment, ang ginagawa namin, we're in what we call an early access phase, no? So friends of the company, viewers of the BloomCast, you can join. We'll get you on, and you can try it out. Pero part of the agreement with all of our early users is tutulungan nila kami na they'll report bugs, they'll report whatever issues that they encounter. They'll tell us about it para ma-improve namin yung product before we actually get to an official launch. That's why we're not committing to a launch date kasi we don't know exactly when it will be 100% ready. And it's more important to us na solid yung product kesa we meet the deadline of launching. Because, like we understand that we're working with people's money here, right? Your money or Aldrin's money, KooKoo's money, Shanks' money. So we want to make sure that it's the most solid product we can possibly build. So that's my quick answer to Jay. Okay, let's let KooKoo share his screen now. Okay. Oh, but wala kang pera?
Wala eh. Naubos na eh. Naubos na
Nag-breed
kakabreed.
kasi.
Yung mga eggs. Eggs.
Ayan.
Breeds. So the typical build kasi na right now na which is in demand is yung filter ko lang yung bird, yung bees, and then yung plant. If people are looking for like a well-balanced team, you can start with breeding this or looking sa marketplace ng ganitong breed.
For the first timers, can you explain yung difference, yung just basic differences nung tatlong, did you call them classes or races?
Yes, class.
Okay, classes. Okay, what's the basic difference ng tatlong class na yun?
So yung plant kasi, like with this one, yung plant kasi, siya ang purpose niya is to really tank the damages. I mean, to absorb all the damages. Kasi yan yung nasa front palagi. And those na, yung positioning kasi very important din siya. Yung gameplay kasi, kung sino yung nasa harap, yun yung atakihin ng opponent's Axie. So dahil kung meron kang tank na that can absorb yung mga damages niya and delay the game and make you help you strategize, then hanap ka ng tank na pwede mong ma-utilize. Like for example, with this one, I prefer with this one instead of Leap Bug kasi I want to create damage at the same time steal or manipulate energy. So dito yung skill niya kasi, dito yung pumpkin niya is good for drawing cards, especially sa mga bago. Nagtataka sila bakit ganon. Yung card kung kailan ko siya kailangan, hindi ko nakuha. Kung kailan ko kailangan ng beast card or ng bird card, hindi ko nakuha. So yung pumpkin will help them draw a card from their deck para mas makapag-strategize sila. So kung hindi na break yung shield mo, look at this shield, meron siyang 110. Yan. So meron siyang 110 shield. Tapos yung benefit ng card na kapag hindi nabasag yung shield na yan, makakapag-draw ka ng card. And then yung serious na yung mouth niya, so ito yung back, ito yung pumpkin na sa likod niya. And then yung mouth niya, yung serious, still energy naman siya. So pwede mong i-manipulate yung enemy mo into forcing your enemy to use yung cards niya or energy. Kasi kapag di niya ginamit yon, there's a possibility na pwede kong agawin yung energy, in which is energy will help me create more damage doon sa aking opponent. So yun, so may steal energy ako, may energy manipulator ako, and at the same time I can create damage. Yung wooden stab, yan, so deal 120% damage if this Axie shield breaks. So kapag nag-break yung shield nung Axie ko na to during the battle, makakapag-create ako ng additional 120 damage, in which is very important kung maghaharap yung tank to tank. Kasi ang goal naman palagi is mapatay agad yung tank in early rounds.
Yeah.
Pag di mo nagawa yan, may hirapan ka na during the game. And then, yung carrot naman, the good thing about carrot, so pwede siyang pang damage, pero kapag nabasag yung shield mo, or nabawasan yung HP mo, dahil nabasag yung shield mo, you gain energy from it. So, win-win. Nakapag-rate ka ng damage, tapos nakapag-gain ka ng energy. So, yun yung typical na tank na kadalasan gusto ng mga ng bird and beast na partner.
So, okay, so basic questions first. Shanks, if you were going to make an offer to buy this Axie from KooKoo, how much would you have to offer for him to take your offer seriously?
Fair price maybe 0.2.
Okay. Do you agree, KooKoo?
But
binabarat ka ni Shanks? Binabarat ka?
No.
Ano?
Binabarat ako ni Shanks eh.
Okay. No. Is it a virgin Axie? Is it a virgin?
Yeah, virgin yun, virgin.
Oh, if it's a virgin, siguro 0.3.
Okay.
Ayan na.
$500. $500
yes.
In other words. Okay,
alright.
All right.
But I won't buy.
A lot of money, guys.
I won't buy a wooden stab tank. I mean, if I were to choose my tank.
So look at the marketplace right now kung magkano sa virgin.
Look, I guess you could call this average 0.7 kasi meron ka mga medyo mahal dyan eh. At least just on this page, no? Okay, so 0.6, 0.7 yung average price niya. So $1,000.
Yeah, 0.4.
Oh, sige. Okay, sige.
$700.
Okay, yeah, that's not a small price. So you are definitely yeah, okay. So yung for $500 investment mo, is that your most expensive Axie or are they roughly kind of going to be the same, all three of them? Itong basic team mo.
Kadalasan ang pinakamahal either yung tank or yung beast kung sa basic team. Yan. Ang bird kasi dahil sobrang dami niya na eh.
What's the beast class characteristic again?
So yung beast class natin, yan. Ito, yung karaniwan na beast class. Ito, ay yung part niya is yung Ronin and then triple nutcracker or nutcracker. Double nut, donut. Tawag naman yung donut eh kasi double nut. So donut beast. Yung donut beast naman, ito yung back niya, yung Ronin, critical damage kapag pinartner mo ng 2 other cards. So pwedeng dalawang ganyan or any card dito sa apat na to.
Basta so this is your damage dealer.
Ito yung damage dealer. Support siya. Yeah, siya yung nasa mid. Okay. Ayan, kaya preferred ng mga tao yung Nutcracker. kasi dahil mas mataas yung damage, kahit 3 cards lang kaya ng makapatay ng tank. And then meron din siyang gain energy once na na-trigger mo yung single combat na card. The reason why yan yung partner ko with this tank kanina, kasi mas gusto ko na bruiser yung team more than the passive itself. Kasi I can be passive naman, I can gain more energy. Ang difference lang kasi with, for example, Cottontail, I'll match Cottontail with a heavy damager sa backliner. Anyway, ayun nga, gusto ko mag-complement yung tank and then yung beast ko.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I want to create more damage at the same time manipulate or gain some energy in the later rounds. Kasi ang magiging heavy damager ko is yung bird. Ito yung karaniwan na bird. Actually hindi siya yung karaniwan na bird na
It's an upgraded version.
Upgrade to eh. Ito medyo pineflex ko lang to right now kasi very rare yung ganitong breed. Kasi puti siya.
Yeah, because it's an albino Axie.
Albino, tapos yun yan.
Okay, kahit yung albino lang Okay, I wasn't sure what he meant by that. Okay.
So,
like, how much does your rare bird go for? That's a
Wait, let's
really
go
weird
for the
question
muna,
to be
sa price
asking,
naman.
but Okay.
Let's go sa price ng beast muna. So, let's say around typical nutcracker, so nut throw,
Ronin.
okay, Ronin. Okay, so yan siya. Search lang natin yung filter. Let's say virgin. Okay. Sige, sabihin na natin di virgin. Sorry kanina, hindi pala virgin yung ano natin. So, kung 3.7 karaniwan na breed count, so around siguro $275.
Yeah.
Ang isa? 275?
13,000 pesos. Okay. Alright.
So, 70-13. Tapos, kung yung plant naman natin kanina, kung ganun yung tank, tingin tayo ng wooden stop. Peach, pumpkin, and then carrot, and then Sirius. Ayan siya. So, kung 3 yan. So, let's say, ito. Ay, hindi.
Alright.
Wala. Okay.
Yeah. So nasa $400. Almost 20,000 pesos yung ano.
So, 270
no?
plus 369. So, kano na siya?
Okay. Yeah, nasa 60 ka na. Nasa 60 ka na. If well, medyo mahal kasi yung for yung beast mo kanina eh. Depends pala on what
the breed count.
Like that, right. And I guess what we're basing this on parang marketplace prices. We're not basing it on parang like if a breeder had a set team and he was selling it that way.
Right.
Yes.
Yung tendency ba is mas mababa yung price pag package siya na tatlo or mas mahal ba yon? Like what's the
So ito lastly yung bird. Additional 372 for this class of bird.
Right.
Yung pinakamura na sa market. Magkano na tayo nabot ng Shanks? $700, $800?
Di na ako sanay mag-dollar.
40.
Yeah, call it 40,000 pesos. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, ito yung difference. With a seller na nagbebenta ng ganito, depende kung kailan niya pa na-breed. So disclaimer lang, depende kung kailan niya na-breed yon, kung kailan niya nakuha yung SLP. And anyway, so yun, may mga ibang factors din. Pero pros and cons, you can buy around 45,000 pesos sa team price pa lang doon sa marketplace. The same character or skills na pinakita ko kanina.
Okay.
Pero ang con niya, yung disadvantage yan, magbabayad ka pa ng fees diyan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So additional
yung gas fees?
Yung gas fees for buying this. Kasi for example, I'll buy this one. Let's say buy now. Magbabayad pa ako ng gas fee. So magti-trigger siya. So around 38. Let's say 38 or $40. So let's say less than that, pwede. Depende pa sa gas, So additional gas fee pa siya.
Additional 2,000 pesos yung budget mo. Okay.
Yes, additional 2,000 pesos. So basically mga 6,000 pesos for sending 3 axes or buying 3 axes. So additional
Pero if I bought outside of the marketplace, tas buo na sila, pwede bang isang send yun na isang gas fee lang?
Yes,
So,
merong secondary market. That's why yung mga sellers then they offer like a bundle Tapos, of course, may discount na rin yun. Pwede na nilang i-send yun ng bundle. So like OpenSea does that once you interact with their
Yeah,
contract.
OpenSea.
Yeah.
Man, that's
But
actually
I
pretty
think
crazy na kailangan
it's
mo
the
pang
same.
add yung cost of transfer, no, to your buying
Yes.
decision. Kasi ang mahal nung cost of transfer.
Right,
Like, 2,000 pesos or the difference between 2,000 pesos and 6,000 pesos is pretty big. Like, ang dami mo nagawa with the 4,000 peso savings.
Right.
Wow. Okay, interesting.
So, you also have to consider din yung what do you call this? Kapag sa marketplace ka kasi bibili, unless wala kang ka-competition kasi unahan to alam mo yung gas wars, di ba? May magandang Axie, unahan ko na agad siya, patataasin ko yung gas ko. So, tendency kapag hindi mo siya nakuha, magpe-fail yung transaction mo, nagbayad ka pa rin ng fees.
Right.
So yun yung iniiwasan. Yun yung iniiwasan lang. But sa Ronin yan, madali na lahat. Yun yung pinaka-inaabangan na lahat.
Yeah, I wonder if parang if the layer 2, the Ronin layer of if when it happens, what will happen to the prices of Axie? Hindi ba by definition dapat bumaba siya ng konti? Kasi breeding is not gonna be as expensive theoretically and transfer is not gonna be as expensive? Or hindi ba?
Maliit na percentage lang kasi yung yung transfer fee, yung breeding fee, tapos kasi ang pinakamalaking factor talaga yung SLP tsaka yung
SLP
price.
cost. Yeah.
SLP cost tsaka eat
Okay.
price. So na-lessen lang yung
price-
friction ng sending. Yeah. Yung eat price.
Yeah, right. So, in other words, if your budget is 0.6 ETH for a team right now, posibleng bumaba siya ng konti because of Ronin, but it's not gonna be, you don't think it's gonna be a big difference.
Right.
It's still going to matter more kung ano yung price ng Ethereum.
Right. Yes.
Ethereum and SLP.
Eat and
Okay.
SLP.
Got it. Okay.
Kasi when Ronin comes out, that would mean a lot of breeders are gonna start breeding. Right now, there's no activity There's only a few breeders if meron man. Yung mga binabansagan kong matatapang. Yan, nagbe-breed sila kahit sobrang mahal ng SLP and sobrang taas ng value. So, when Ronin comes out, a lot of players are gonna breed, which means a lot of SLP are gonna get burned. So, the demand of SLP is gonna rise up. So, we can't say, most likely, baka tumaas yung SLP and then apektado yung price ng team, just like what KooKoo said.
Yeah, good point pala yun, no, na-realize ko, no, once that happens kasi, like for me, yan, lagi ako sinesermonan ni Shanks, ang tapang ko daw kasi nagbe-breed ako ng during that time, 130 gwei, 150 gwei. To share some frustrations from a breeder myself. Matatakot kami mag-breed kasi sa price ng SLP. Imagine we're buying 10 pesos or 5 peso price of worth of SLP. Tapos mamamroblema ka pa, yung stress mo pa in breeding your Axies. So, and then yung price ng Ethereum din. Siyempre, babayad sa'yo peso. Bibili ka rin ng Ethereum at the price of peso. So, yun yung challenges ng breeders na pag ganun yung nangyari, I'm not sure. Okay, mataas yung SLP pero wala kayong Axie na makikita sa marketplace. Kasi if you look at the marketplace right now, there are a lot of players na clear ko lang yung filter. 11,420 lang yung nakalist sa marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time na siguro bago pa lang or let's say sabihin natin mass adoption, 11,000 ang bilis maubos niyan.
Right.
Sobrang bilis maubos niyan ng Axies na yan. Kapag nagkaroon na ng let's say Ronin, madaling onboarding, people will go crazy buying sa marketplace. So, ang ibig sabihin nun, kapag maraming bumibili sa marketplace or let's say nagbebenta ng Axies, the prices of Axies will still go high. So that's the challenge. Yun yung challenge yun. Gusto niyo tumaas yung price ng SLP? Okay, good. pero wala na nagbe-breed. So magkakaubusan kayo ng SLP kasi syempre marami na may engganyo maglaro dahil malaki yung SLP. Nagkaubusan na ng Axie. So basic demand and supply, tataas yung presyo ng Axie.
Pero hindi ba yung breeding naman is not a function of time? Like, as long as you've got the SLP to cover it, hindi naman siya matagal, like, is there some
5
kind
days.
of time?
5 days
so,
max.
Okay, alright.
5
so
days,
may
yes.
time. Okay.
5
Alright,
days
so
if nag-morph ka kahit mataas yung yung gas.
Right. Okay,
Kasi you have to morph it twice.
Right.
And you have to pay like first morph is like 2,000 pesos, second morph is like first morph is around mga 1,000 pesos, second morph is around 3,000 pesos.
Okay. So I wonder how quickly we'll see the market change. I guess hindi naman, it's kind of hard to tell, no? Because like when Ronin happens, hindi naman basta-basta magpapalit lang lahat ng behavior ng mga tao. Hindi naman biglang maka-clear out lahat ng axes in the marketplace. Pero what you're saying is it'll take at least a week or two in order for the breeders to start overpopulating. Is it even possible na ma-overpopulate yung marketplace?
Yeah,
it did happen before.
Around November, no, Shanks, no? Nung after nung feature sa CoinDesk, syempre dumami din yung mga players. Sobrang daming axes talaga. As in sobrang ang daming magagandang axes at a good price at that time. Pero very less yung bumibili. Pero eventually naubos.
I remember the bees, there were what we call the dumping kumbaga na nangyari. Before the bees was just around less than 0.1. Someone was even listing the bees for 0.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
wow.
Considering the gas fee to list them would cost you what, 0.2 or 0.3 every time you list an Axie sa marketplace. So the profit, I mean, it's either break even or
why is the gas fee so high?
Because of DeFi.
Okay.
Activity.
So okay. So in other words, para ma-list mo pa lang, so whether or not mabenta mo siya, like you pay for the listing pa lang. Tama ba?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow, so that's actually so that says a lot about the prices that are here. Because so what's the price? What's the listing fee now? You've got an Axie right there that's 0.17. How much do you think it cost them to list that?
Fee, may listing, may gas fee tapos parang may listing fee.
Right now 0.02, sorry.
0.02. 0.02. Okay, kala ko 0.2.
Yes.
It's like, what the fuck? It'll cost you like $400 to list,
Yeah.
0.02. So $40.
Yes, 0.02. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
natin.
not nothing. That's not nothing though.
Yeah, still.
Oo.
Unless you're gonna list like an Axie na top tier, like very in demand. Like when you list it, after a few minutes, it gets sold.
listing is Chineco listing is $49.
Okay, all right. So nasa 2,000 over 2,000 pesos siya just to list it. And you have no guarantee na mabebenta mo siya. So posibleng yung magle-list ka lang ng super dami tapos wala, you just spent like 100,000 pesos na puro listing fee. Yeah. Wow, okay.
Good thing din pala na brought up ni Shanks yung about dun sa dumping ng mga bees, or let's say there's this kasi thing na hino-hoard yung genes, 'di ba? If you don't want your Axies na magaya ng ibang breeders, then you hold that genes or you sell it super high para kahit na kumbaga parang tinatago mo 'yun Tinatago mo yung genes. Ayaw mong makopya ka ng ibang breeders with that same gene. So, ayan, kung mapapansin nyo before, may nabasa ako sa comment that yung mga ito nakalisto before, let's say, Cottontail around 0.04 that time. Nagbilihan din ako noon Nagbumili din ako ng yung mga time na yun Kasi ang purpose ko nun is, okay, binili ko siya ng mura at 0.04 ETH. Kasi ang gusto ko makapag-create ako ng maraming scholarship account. Kasi itong type of beast na to is a perfect beast for scholars. Parang gano'n, yung purpose ko. Then eventually, nakapag-create nga ako ng scholars kasi yun yung gusto kong mangyari. Makapag-farm ako ng maraming SLP. In the future, I can save up and then breed pag pumasok yung Ronin. Pero right now, iba na yung prices kasi ang dami nang bumibili tapos nagkakaubusan na. So yung listing price right now is 0.17 or yung jeans na yun,
Right.
0.15. So parang from 0.1 naging 0.15 siya hanggang sa naging 0.2 hanggang sa naging 0.4. So, yun yung ano doon, parang gusto mong mag-hoard, gusto mong itago yung jeans na yon, ayaw mong ipabahagi sa iba, then wag mo ibenta or gamitin mo lang for your own breeding purpose. So, let's say
What's the answer to Jet's question? How about the AAP team? Is that actually what does AA aqua tapos
plant?
What's the P? Plant? Okay, aqua plant.
Yes.
What's that? Is that a more advanced team?
Yes. Kasi yung built na plant-based bird, yan yung pinauso ng one of the si Nate, one of the OGs at the same time Hall of Famer ng tournaments. Pag nag-design siya ng team kasi, ito, for example, let's say hindi na lang virgin, let's say 3-7 count, mga ganito. So around 0.3 ang isa. 0.3, 0.3, let's say 0.7, dalawa pa lang, wala pa yung tank. Plus yung tank, 0.2, so 0.9. So 0.98.
So basically 80,000 pesos roughly
80,000.
yung ano mo. Yeah. Including
yung
all the
AAP
transfer
team.
fees.
Yes.
Okay.
Wala pa yung transfer fees nga doon 80,000.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like a bit of an investment, but I wonder nga if and I guess the goal with this episode naman was to talk about the correct beginner team. So in your opinion, Beast Plant Bird, that's the best team to start with, at least in terms of classes. Tapos yung abilities or character or attributes or traits nila, is that more of, it really depends on what you can buy na lang? How do you I don't even know how to ask this question kasi I guess it's very opinionated, no? Like, how do you even know that you're getting a good deal? So, Shanks, before the show started kanina, you and I were talking about how your mentor had sold 10 teams at a certain price for every team. Like, did you see those teams? Like, did you see what their what the lineup looked like and all of that stuff? Like, how can you tell if it's good? How can you tell that it's worth it for given that price?
I mean,
I guess that's a big fear for anyone who's gonna buy into this for the first time.
Yeah, because you're not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know it. You can't tell it.
Well, if I were to recall what I did before, I mean, when I was a newbie, I'm also not sure about the team that I'm gonna be using. So it's more like nagtiwala ako sa mga nagbenta kasi sila yung may experience sa game. So what I did, just to be on the safe side, I bought like a team that can go, that is viable for both adventure and arena. Like there's a balance between them. So pero not necessarily like, because meron kasing team na like more on the strong suit is mainly focused sa PvP. Merong team na good for adventure lang, like for PvE. So yung sa akin kasi ginawa ko medyo balance, at least ma-explore ko both worlds. Ngayon ang mga teams na ginagawa, it doesn't matter. I mean, most of them are centered sa PvP na kasi we already figured out how to make the most out of adventure mode. As long as mataas yung level ng Axie mo, may mga damage card siya, that's already a good team. So the main focus na lang is how viable or how competitive those teams are sa arena. So if yung seller mo is like an OG seller and then yung price niya is in between, just like what we have discussed earlier, then that's already a good deal. Kasi um as a seller, syempre iisipin mo kung yung gumagamit ng teams mo is I mean can really play the team itself. So nakakahiya kasi magbenta ka at that price and then it ended up na hindi siya nag-gain ng SLP, hindi siya nananalo ganun. So
Right.
as a seller, syempre that's already your responsibility
Right.
to sell
So
a
may
team na
social pressure, in other
yeah,
words. There's some social pressure not to screw your buyers. Okay, all right.
of course
That's
kasi
good.
ikaw din naman yung masisira in the end kasi uy bumili ako ng team na ganito pero hindi ako nananalo. Merong mga
We
ganong
only
cases
have
kasi.
we only have a few minutes left, but I wanted to like make sure this question got answered from John Medina. Do you guys think that Axie Infinity will have its proprietary rent a team feature? Um, I assume this means that instead of buying a team, hinuhulugan mo na lang siya per use or something. Is that a thing that Axie is going to do?
Naka-mute si
Cooks, parang nakamute ka.
Sorry. Axie, well, hindi. With Axie kasi maglo-launch sila ng free-to-play. So if you really want to learn about the game, then you can start dun sa free-to-play journey nila. There will be less rewards probably, but hindi ganun yung monetary rewards na ibibigay ni Axie just for you to try the game. Pero yung lending kasi ni rent to own. There are third-party platforms right now. Mga member din ng community that created parang a program where, for example, ako, Axie owner ako, I can lend my Axies and then get a percentage of that earnings. And then pwedeng ibalik nung borrower yung Axie ko in a certain period of time. So kailangan niya lang bayaran yung syempre yung amount na na required, tapos ayun yung as a lender kikita ako doon sa SLP earning niya. So yun yung parang isang way ng ibang I mean community members na meron ng parang rent to own or meron ng parang lending programs.
Rent to own. Wow. Okay. Parang bumili ng bahay.
Pero ito
Okay.
yung program na yun siya naka-smart contract siya. So yun yung maganda.
Oh, well, okay, there you go. So at least it's a little bit less annoying than having to work with a real estate
Trustless,
broker.
yes.
Yeah. AJ Ignacio, may possibility po ba na mawala ang Axie? I assume he means mawala yung Axie Infinity the game, or I guess it could also be na mawala yung team mo. I guess there's always a chance that Axie Infinity, the game, the company, Sky Mavis, the company, it's possible na mag-shutdown sila, ma-bankrupt sila. That's always a possibility.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like that right now. I mean, the fact that we have an entire episode about Axie Infinity just for the Philippine audience, that already tells you a lot, no, about how popular this game currently is. But yeah, I mean, I will say that hindi siya. The thing about Axie Infinity, it's not really decentralized in that sense. It is built by a centralized organization. It's not like Ethereum na kahit mawala yung Ethereum Foundation, kahit mawala si Vitalik, Ethereum itself will continue to work. Obviously it's not going to be great without these founders, pero it will continue to work for as long as the internet works. I don't think that's the same case with Axie Infinity. I think it is very dependent on its company, its business, and its founders. So, bear that in mind na lang, I guess, when you're getting into it. But, lahat naman ng blockchain games, ganun eh. Kasi it's currently impossible. We don't have the technical capabilities to build the entire game right as a smart contract in Ethereum. That's not technically possible yet, unless it's a very, very simple game like poker or something like that. But in the case of this, it's just not possible. So, hindi siya completely independent of the Ethereum blockchain in that way. Next version name ni BloomX is BloomAxie. Okay, yeah, that's a good suggestion. Guys, we're out of time. It's 8 o'clock, 8:01 p.m. And I know that we still had other stuff we wanted to talk about, but like I guess medyo humaba yung conversation about the Axie stuff. If you found this useful, the people in the audience now, if you found this useful, please let us know because actually one of the reasons why I decided to do another episode of Axie Infinity this week was because there's not a lot of news kasi about crypto and other stuff right now. Medyo tumahimik ng konti yung markets. As you can see, the Bitcoin price is a little bit what we call sideways, no? So hindi siya gumalaw masyado. So I was thinking, let's just do another educational episode about Axie. It seems like people find this very useful. So if you find it useful, please tell us so we can continue to create content like this for you guys. And then also give us, kind of what is your most important questions about this game so we can help you get started in the safest way possible. I think that's the most important part for us. So that being said, we are going to pick 2 winners tonight. We're kind of at the end of the show now, so we're going to pick 2 winners tonight. We have, let me check how many comments we have. We had 190 kanina eh. So we have 202 comments. So 202 names in the raffle. So I'm gonna roll for the first winner right now. Good luck, everyone. Here we go. Winner number 1. Glidel Ramos, congratulations. You're winner number 1 for tonight. So in case I forgot to mention, the winners are going to receive invites into BloomX.app. And then inside the app, you will actually get your 2,750 peso vouchers. So we're doing this thing right now na yung wait list namin, yun yung total prize money for the week. So nasa 5,600 winners, 5,600 people on the wait list kasi kami ngayon eh. So yun yung total prize money for this week. So there you go. So Glidel, congratulations, you're winner number 1. Winner number 2, here we go. Gilby's valid. Congratulations. I like your first name. I'm not sure if that's I don't know if that's a real name. Bawal na to sa diba? Bawal na to sa Davao eh. May liquor ban ngayon eh, I heard. What's happening in Cebu? Is it liquor ban also? Nagle-liquor ban ba sa Cebu?
Hindi, open nga sa tourist ang Cebu eh.
Oh,
very much welcome.
Okay. So doon na lang kayo uminom.
Yes.
Quezon City, Valenzuela, some other cities in Metro Manila are all liquor ban. Dito sa LU, medyo super baba nung COVID cases eh. So there's no reason to have a bigger lockdown. What's it like in Taguig, Aldrin? May liquor ban ba dyan?
Hindi ako masyadong lumalabas eh. Parang wala naman eh. Kasi nung pag pumunta ako 7-Eleven, wala naman nakalagay. So parang pwede yung girl base na yan.
Okay. With that being said, thank you everyone for watching. Crypto Shanks, Red-Haired Shanks, tell us where people can find you on the internet.
Yeah, on Facebook, you can just look up Crypto Shanks, and sa Discord, Shanks7281. Ingat-ingat sa mga scammers. May mga kumakalat na scams dyan na nag-share ng mga profile pictures or anything public sa account nyo. Be careful. Never give your seed phrase.
Okay. Good advice. KooKoo Crypto, where can people find more of you?
Yes, sir. Just follow my Facebook page, KooKoo Crypto, and then yung YouTube channel ko. Watch out for new contents and new games then sa blockchain NFT gaming. So, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us again, KooKoo. Aldrin Rabino, Crypto Fortune, where can people find you?
Twitter, Crypto Fortune, and sa YouTube, guys, please be mindful sa mga, as mentioned ni Shanks, sa maraming mga impersonators and copying. So please be mindful, guys. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Obviously, be safe out there. Wear your masks, wear your face shields, and if there's a liquor ban in your city, good luck to you. My name is Luis. This is the BloomCast. If you haven't already signed up to the wait list, please join BloomX.app. You'll be able to trade your pesos directly for over 250 different cryptocurrencies through there. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll be back next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Good night. Bye.